Howdy, folks. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lane Hayward. Call me Laner, and I'm just here hanging out by the creek, listening to the birds chirp, taking in some nature. Um, yeah, just hanging out. And while I'm hanging out here, I figured I'd share a little video with you guys about. I'm going to talk about my sobriety today. So, as of today, I've been sober 984 days from alcohol and cocaine. Um, now that I've made it this far, it's pretty neat. I love it. I've uh, I've experienced the darkness, if that's what you want to call it, the dark side, however you want to call that. And where I'm at now, I wouldn't go back. It's not even worth my time. You know what I mean? I'm a totally different person from who I once was. Holy, is that a fucking hell sucker? Anyways, I'm gonna throw Bobbles' impressions and shit in these videos while I do them too. You guys are gonna get a real taste of who I am. um, so yeah, I'm gonna just start kind of right from the beginning of it. Uh, in my first like wake up moment is where I'm gonna start actually, because I had my last drop of alcohol November 1st, 2022. But this goes to August of 2022, end of July or beginning of August. Either way, um, yeah, I was up in Grand Prairie area. I was staying in Beaver Lodge. For any of my friends or anybody on here that is watching this that knows that area, that's where your dreams go to die. Essentially, I think is the easiest way to put it. I was up there, and I think I was on week 2 of a pretty intense bender. Easiest way to put it. Um, and I'll never forget this. I believe it was a come to Jesus, or it was my highest version of my soul talking to me. Either way, uh, I just finished vacuuming up Hollywood. I guess is how I'm going to communicate this message because there's really no other way to communicate it. So I just finished, and as soon as I like kind of gathered my senses and my brain wasn't quite as tingly as it was as soon as it went in there. A voice just came out of nowhere, and it was just like, "This isn't you. Why are you doing this?" And it like stunned me. It threw me for an entire loop. Well, it was something I had never experienced before. So you know what I mean. Um, I don't know how many days I was there after. I know it was a mess, and the welder I was helping, I think he was getting pretty frustrated with me chattering a grinder out of the bevels. Just being a space cadet helper, really. That's the easiest way to put it. Um, I uh, I came home, I think with $10 to my name. I think I had just enough to pay for my fuel, come all the way back to the farm. And I remember I just jumped right in a swather and started swathing the combine. And I was going through some pretty insane withdrawals, feeling some type of way. I was still drinking. I was drinking beer. I had quit drinking hard alcohol because it turned me into a totally different person. And yeah, in November, I went back onto a job, and I just stopped. I stopped for someone who no longer is part of my life. Either way, doesn't matter. But at that point in time, I had stopped drinking for them. Now I come to the terms that I did it for myself. I just needed them for the fuel. And that's also me saying if that's what you need to do, if you feel like you need to get out of where you're going or what you're doing, if you need to use someone else that you care about as fuel to better yourself, do it. I also had people telling me that I couldn't do it and that I wouldn't even make it to a month. I also use that as fuel. A lot of that. For majority of my life, I've been told I can't do certain things, and I always use that as fuel. As okay, watch me. I can and I will. And I've done some pretty crazy things, like unique, I guess you should say, not crazy, unique. Um, and yeah, that's part of the being sober too. I just took back my power from the bottle in a little baggie is the easiest way to put it. You have to kind of look at it like, well, I'm bigger than this, so why is it controlling my life? And I know that's easy to just say that, and it is difficult. The first 6 months for me were, oh gosh, man, there was days where I was, well, I really wanted to have a drink, or there was days where I just felt like giving up, and I never did. I saw through it, I saw past it, and I realized, there's a reason I'm here, and I can do it. I can stay sober. I can, and I have. I've done it for how long now? It's if you're willing to put in the work, it reaps great rewards. I believe. Um, I feel like it's totally changed my aspect, how I see things, how I view life. Um, I actually enjoy waking up in the morning, and there's the possibility I get to meet someone that my story might help, or now that I'm starting to share videos, I might be able to help someone, one single person, and that means something to me. I've made the difference for myself, so I'm going to make the difference maybe for someone else. Um, Now, like I said, it ain't easy, and if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. I'm just going to share a couple little stories. 2 months was New Year's of 2023, and I went to a New Year's party with some friends in a town that, I don't know, when I used to party in the town, I didn't really enjoy it there. I don't know why I went. Either way, I guess everything happens for a reason. I was put there for certain learning purposes, but I DD'd. I was driving a 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan, just a beater van that we just had laying around at the farm. I think the diff was piled up in my truck at that time. Either way, just to kind of put it into perspective, driving a whole crew of people around in a Grand Caravan, and get done, and we're gonna get ready to drive people home. And one guy gets in, and then he gets out because he's not ready to go. And when he gets out, he like two hands the sliding door like as hard as he could, and then it still doesn't work properly. Like that door, you do not open it. Don't fucking open it. But yeah, he slams it as hard as he could, and then he puts his fist right through the window. And before I went to this New Year's shindig, I was told no drinking, no lipping off, and no fighting. It's kind of the three rules that someone had enforced, and I was like, okay, seems easy. Seems like I can do that. I'm trying to turn a new leaf for myself. Let's do it. So when that guy did that, and there's just glass, it's like minus 35, and doors wrecked and the windows broken. It like it flipped something in me. I got out and I like yeah, I swung the door open and I was getting ready, and he was walking away like a guy could have come up behind him and just beat the brakes off him. Really, could have. But same thing, that voice in August, and it might have also just been my voice of intuition. Like maybe I was starting to actually listen to, But either way, I was like, nope. If you fight this guy, you got enough stuff going on in your life right now that you don't need an assault charge or any of that bullshit. You don't need that. And so I just kind of turned around, and his friend, I forget his name, but if you're watching this, I'm sure you remember this, uh, apologized on his behalf. Helped. We made like a plywood window and we ratchet strapped the door shut and give me a $200 prepaid Visa. And I appreciate you. If you're watching this, you could have just said, oh, not my problem. But I appreciate the effort you put in to make sure your friend's wrongdoings were somewhat taken care of. I appreciate that. Um, so I go home. It's still New Year's Day, I guess. Yeah. Um, go back to the farm, and whoever placed the three rules, I'm not saying names. I'm not doing that. But whoever placed the three rules turned it around and said, "Well, were you drinking?" Nope, nope. I didn't. I didn't have a drink. Really proud of myself. Did good. Well, what did you say to piss the guy off? I said nothing. I don't know. He just got out of the vehicle, slammed the door, and punched the window out. I have no fucking idea why he did what he did. I don't. Um, well, why didn't you beat him up? I don't know, because he told me not to get in any fights, so I didn't. And I kind of snapped in that moment when it got spun around on me. It's nothing new. It's kind of something I've experienced a lot in my life. Either way, we're not going to get on that. It's the way she goes sometimes. I've learned to not let it control me or consume me. But I kind of spiraled. I went just triggered, and at 2 months, like for the people who have started their sobriety, I think they understand. Like 2 months is when all the stuff you push down and keep buried down with alcohol and drugs is when I feel like that's when it really starts to want to come out and be acknowledged and looked at, and all of that going on, and then that whole scenario, I snapped, and I was gonna ring in the new year by killing myself. I don't know. I guess I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube or whatever. Unaliving myself. And I got admitted into a psych ward for 12 days. And I don't care if you call it the loony bin or whatever, or if you think you never need to go there or whatever. I mean, I always called it the loony bin. I never wanted to go, but at that moment in time, I knew that if I didn't go, I wouldn't be here. I would have done something. Um, so I go there 12 days, totally changes my perspective. Um, Taught me, for one, not to ever judge a book by its cover. There's people in there that might be labeled as crazy lunatic people, but I didn't think so. And some of them just got pushed to their breaking point, and they continued to just self-destruct mode, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Either way, um, I met some really unique people, put a lot of perspectives in my life for me, and I come out of there with a drive to better myself. And I stuck around home for a while, worked around home, and figured, guy maybe shouldn't be on the road and trying to stop what he was doing. Uh, hey, there's a big old spider. I'm gonna take spiders are good omens. See, look at that, hey? He's not scary. Anybody who's scared of a spider, look up what a spider means, or what the fear of a spider means. It might tell you something about yourself. Either way, that was a little side note. Just hanging out with him. So, stay around home for a while, and I had a really good AA group that, here, be free, buddy. Boom, gone. Back in the grass. I had a really good AA group that I went to. I think I went for 8 months ish. I started going right after I got out of the hospital. And they taught me a lot of really valuable things. I mean, I didn't even make it to my group for my 1 year celebration. Um, I guess they were there, like, I guess when you're learning to ride a bike for the first time, and, you know, someone's just balancing, making sure you're not gonna fall over. That's what I felt AA was for me. And now I understand there's people that need it or need to keep going, or they might have a wreck, and that's totally okay. Everybody's it's a little different for their sobriety. There's a bug right there too. No, it's not. Anyway, we're just doing our thing. And yeah, I think I went for about 8 months, and then once I got the hang of it and realized I don't need alcohol, and I took my power back from it. Um, I was rocking and rolling. I started working on the road again. I went. If anybody knows where Black Diamond or Turner Valley is, southern. It's in the southern parts of Alberta, and it's so freaking beautiful down there. But I went and worked on a 48-inch line down there. That was the first big inch job I'd ever done. I was still a helper. I was out of school. Um, yeah, I went to my third year of college, um, sober. And for anybody who goes to trade school, it's 2 weeks, or 2 weeks, 2 months to go you take 2 months off work, and you basically go get banged up with all your friends. Is the easiest way to put it. What the heck are you? Keep looking. There's bugs all over the place. They're crawling on me. That's a good sign though that they do that. It means you're vibrating on a good frequency. So yeah, I went to school. That was very difficult. There was lots of days where it tested everything, but I had a lot of good people that made sure I wouldn't fall back into old ways, and I didn't. I passed with some of the best marks. I got my B pressure the first try. A lot of stuff, a lot of things that if I was still drinking, I probably would have never got my B pressure. To be honest with you, I probably would have flunked out my third year, and I would have never continued welding. To be honest with you, I think well, I probably would be dead if I was still doing what I was doing. um, Besides the point, I went down and yeah, on that job and hanging around with, you know, pipeliners. And if you never pipelined or, like I said, worked on the road, you don't know what it's like. And it's it's pipelining. It's really at the end of it is you are a family, but there's the spectrum of every kind of person. And I feel like we're all misfits at the end of the day. I feel like it's a good way to describe who we are out there. Um, and depends who you want to hang out with or what crowd you want to get involved in with, because with that crew down there I met some great people, and they supported what I was doing. and that means a lot, because I had also been with the crowd that, oh, let's fucking just go get into one, let's go get into one, let's go get into one, and yeah, so I met some really great people down there, and I've never seen. That's when I first started to see real beauty in the world. I went and did lots of hiking and hung out at the river and this and that, and that's when I started my soul search, looking for who I really was. And after that job, I don't know where I went. Just kind of been all around the place. That's all I've ever done. Yeah, once I kind of got the hang of being sober, I was sober. And like I said, yeah, I have a hoot here and there, and wouldn't consider myself a chronic smoker by any means. Um, but at the same time, everybody's got to have a little something. I could be still doing what I was doing, so I'm just gonna have that. Um, there's another. I'm gonna share a quote out of this book. I found this book. I got this book signed by the author when I was, I don't know, probably grade 7, grade 8. When I was in grade 7 is kind of when my self-destruct mode started till I got sober, to be honest with you. I think grade 9 I started smoking cigarettes, and in my small community, grade 9, like if you're going into grade 10, like so the end of your grade 9, you can go party. We call it the hill party at the rodeo. That's kind of where your career starts out there. You know what I mean? Your drinking career, that's what you want to call it, or small town things, right? But either way, I met this guy. I was really excited to read his book, and then the book sat in a drawer for 10 or so years. Never touched it. I found it the other day, and I said, huh. So the book's called Alvin's Laws of Life, 5 Steps to Successfully Overcome Anything. It's by Alvin Law. Um, yeah, he did a presentation in our school years and years ago and got a book from him or whatever. And he's got one quote. His 5 laws are attitude, learning, value, imagination, and never give up. But I'm going to share the one from value. Uh, Value your life and spirit. Too many people live another V, that of victim. It's true, bad things happen to good people, and there are victims. The trouble is, there's no answer to the question, why me? Even worse, victims often get stuck in their past when what they need to do is to live for today and move toward the future. When you focus on moving forward, you never know what you'll discover. Everyone has value. Finding it, that's the trick. And that, I feel like that just kind of rolls with what I'm talking about right now. And I would say I've found my value. I know who I am. Uh, I know what serves and doesn't serve me. And at the same time, I'm here and I share a message and I talk about certain things I've seen and endured, and in the hopes of confirmation burp. I haven't even said it yet. um, in hopes that I can get the message out to someone else, even if it's one person. Um, Another thing here, I've been told that, oh, you can't do that. You won't do that. You won't do that. And when that gets said to me, I use it as fuel, like big time. And yeah, I was told when I first stopped drinking, I was told, oh, you won't even make a month. I was like, okay, watch me. Made it through Christmas, and made it through New Year's. Went to a psych ward, made it through school, made it through so many things that have tested every bit of myself. That's pretty fucking cool. Um, and I've just told myself I can and I will. I can and I will. Uh, so when you have those people that tell you you can't, do this or you won't make it or whatever. I was guilty for at one point in my life letting that control me, and I'm not doing that no more. God no, it's my life. You can say whatever you want, but if I believe I can do it, I will. And that's where I'm at. I'm here sitting on my mud board by the creek, yapping to a phone to post video on YouTube to tell people that you can do anything. If you're struggling in a dark place, don't be scared to reach out. Uh, and if you think it's maybe time to change the path you're taking, do it. Here's another example. This is someone in my life that I've known well, since grade six, grade seven. Um, my two buddies, it's their dad. So he's like my second dad. He There's lots of times I'd go sit in the garage with him, and ask him for some advice or whatever it may be. I'm not going to say his name, but if he's watching this, he'll uh, he'll know I'm talking about him. But I believe he's 57, 58, somewhere in there, and he just stopped drinking in January, and he's drank majority of his life, and that makes me really proud of him and happy for him. That he can make that change. Someone who drank every day for how many years? I'm really proud of you. I really hope you see this and me telling you this. I'm happy for you. Um, Last time I saw you, you were looking good. I'd say you're probably feeling better too. So I'm really proud of you, and yeah. Um, Another part I'm gonna say this. I'm just giving random tidbits of shit. Uh, if you slip up, that's okay. That's part of the. Look at that. That was a big old butterfly. You have a slip up or a moment of weakness and you fall down. Well, it's not how you stay down there. It's how you get up. It's okay. We're human. We make mistakes. It's a matter of if you continue doing it. Um, and at the end of the day, like, yeah, I went 984 days without a drink. But if I were to have a whoopsie daisy or have a drink, it's just numbers. The guy can, you know what I mean? Like, that's for someone else that might just need to hear that. That at the end of the day is okay. You slipped up 2 months in. Well, how about you double it now? Make it to 4 months. And if you can make it to 4 months, and then you say you're looking at the bottle or whatever before you drink it. Well, I made it 4 months. Why don't we go two more? Let's make her to six. We can do it. We've already made it this far. Blah, blah, blah. Why does this need me to drink it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, um, that's kind of all I got for this video. Uh, I really hope whoever's watching it, uh, it helps in some certain way, even if it's one person. That's all I'm really here for. Is if one person, um, if it helps one single person, some sort of way, feel like I did something. Uh, like we're gonna throw in one more little thing here because it just pops into my head. Anyways, thought I heard or saw something funky, but I've been told. Okay, there's people that say, well, what if nobody watches your YouTube videos? Well, okay, yeah, that's a what if, or it might never work out. Well, my last video got 2 views. That's 2 more views than I would ever got if I never recorded it. So that's a win. Taking it as a win. And there's only one way to find out. And I'm just more or less posting these just because, yeah, there might just be that one person that just comes across it and I helped change their life. So if you've made it this far, I love you. I appreciate you. Hope you're doing good. Keep your head high and keep that world between the bevels and keep on keeping on. Come on.